Okay, I got a new rod for my compressor. Here's my crank, which it ain't as bad as it looks. All that crap on there, that's aluminum that got galded or spalled or whatever to the crankshaft when the rod went south. So I ought to be able to clean that all off and put this rod in. Hopefully get a little more time out of this thing. It's running on borrowed time already, but it is nice to have. Right now we're running on a little 110, and that just doesn't have the I don't know, the go that this thing had. So anyhow, oh hey, I was looking for that washer.
There's a bug on me.
All right, well we'll get to this in a little bit. I'm gonna try to pick all that crap off with my pocket knife. Like right here, there's a nice, I don't know if you can hardly see it, but that stuff does kind of pick off. Then once I get that cleaned off, I'll take a little emery, very fine stuff, and polish the crank, and hopefully that'll work. On camera, there we go. Alright, yeah, oh, I should have done that to begin with. The crankshaft is actually cleaning up pretty nice, and I got one of these paint rust remover wheels, and that does a pretty fair job of taking off the aluminum without really scoring the hell out of the crankshaft. I got a couple of little spots yet. Some of it's kind of stubborn, but you know what? I'm not going to go for... I'm going to get it as good as I can, but if I can't freaking get all of it, like I said, if I can't get all of it for my camera, freaking camera. If I can't get all of it, I'm not going to lose any sleep. As long as I can get the majority of it and the big pieces that are jutting out, which I already got those. I'm just trying to clean up a little more there. Oh, and here's my lovely little crankshaft holder, so the crank don't move while I'm cleaning it. But yeah, you just use one of these things and that gets the aluminum off pretty good. Okay, so I got this crankshaft cleaned up pretty good. That one isn't looking too happy, and this connecting rod has seen better days, but it's going to have to run for a while, at least till I can get another one and replace it. But I think that crankshaft would polish up. Now, you got to be careful on this end. The crankshaft right here, you can unbolt this plate and slide the whole shaft right out. But there's a bunch of needle bearings down in there, just like inside of a universal joint, and they'll want to sort of fall all over on you, so be careful when you're doing that. Another thing I found strange, you don't have real wrist pin retainers. All you got is these sort of plastic bumpers right here that just rub up against the cylinder wall whenever they feel like it, I guess. And for a low RPM engine, I imagine that's pretty good. But they ain't all wore down to nothing, so they're going to go back in. I'm going to grease some stuff and oil some stuff and start putting it back together. But it does turn pretty nice. It has a little bit of bearing play over here, which I can't do much about that until I get a new bearing for it. But I really think this is gonna actually work. So let me get a little more together here, and we'll do this. Okay, got one piston in. Managed to start it without a ring compressor. And you know what? Just for the record, Harleys don't have to be frickin' ear-splittingly loud. That one sounds, you know, just a little throaty, but it's not ridiculous. A friend of mine said the ones that they tear out the frickin' baffles and just have straight pipes on there and go screaming all around, sounding like diarrhea. Maybe that's what HD really stands for, heavy diarrhea, I don't know. But they ought to have them pipes just plumbed right up to their frickin' ears and ride around like that. I can't stand that. If I were to take one of these Volkswagens and do that, I'd be pulled over in a split second. But Apparently Harley riders, oh, American Thunder. Whatever. Anyhow, let's get another piston in. Okay, so we got the compressor back together. It actually feels pretty nice. I took that paint and rust remover wheel on the crankshaft and got it cleaned up real good, and it feels good. So I'm going to put it back together. Crankshaft is full of oil. Everything's pre-lubed, and we'll see how she goes. Okay.